Because the vote will be coming on, and as members arrive, they can make their statements. Obviously, there are a couple of specific points that we wanted to make today. You're all aware of the fact that the group of us who will be here before you today, we're all co-sponsors of the Down Payment to Protect National Security Act of 2012. I had to read that because I didn't remember the title, but the bottom line was it was our effort to make the point that we needed to find a way, and we had at least one idea, for how to prevent the sequestration from occurring both for defense spending and the non-defense spending. There is a bill that has been introduced in the House of Representatives that does it in a similar fashion. And today the House of Representatives will pass a budget which will ask six different committees rather, to come up with specific numbers for savings in the budget that will offset the spending that is required to prevent the sequestration for its first year of implementation. That's our object here, to find the $109 billion in offsets that can prevent the first year sequestration from occurring. So you'll have different methods for doing it, and we wanted to make one point today that we're open to any ideas. This has to be a bipartisan exercise. If the House of Representatives can come up with some ideas that garner a greater support, that's fine with us. But both those who are strongly concerned about the non-defense cuts, as well as those of us concerned about defense, will want to find a way to work together and get this accomplished, and certainly before the end of the year. It would also help, by the way, if the President would be supportive instead of threatening to veto any alternatives to the across-the-board cuts. Now, I wanted to make just mainly 2 points today. First of all, these cuts that Senator Inhofe spoke of are both economic as well as relating to the defense capability of the United States. According to research conducted by Professor Stephen Fuller of George Mason University, sequestration puts at risk over 1 million U.S. jobs across the 50 states, and it could lead to over a 0.5% increase in the unemployment rate, 0.6% by his calculations. A recent study by Deloitte notes that in 2009, aerospace and defense accounted for 2.23% of total U.S. GDP, which is larger, for example, than the entire U.S. auto industry. And you know, the president's around the country campaigning about how he threw tens of billions of dollars into the U.S. auto industry to save it. Here, we would have practically 10 times that much being slashed from the budget, with the resulting reduction in jobs around the United States. There is a report that I wanted to make you all aware of that is now available that details state by state, sector by sector, what these impacts on the economy would be. It's called For the Common Defense, Upholding Our Constitutional Responsibility to Defend America, and it's put together by the Center for Security Policy, Aerospace, and other important industries in the United States. I urge all of you to get a copy of this report to see how it affects the economy and jobs in the country. If you have questions about exactly how to obtain this, I can give those to you. And the final point I would make, now that Senator McCain is here, is just to note that it isn't all about defense. Obviously, all of us care about other programs in the budget as well, and I will note that one of the key areas that gets cut by this across-the-board sequester is education. It bears about 10% of the cost, over $4 billion. And if you care about programs, for example, like special education state grants, would get cut by over $1 billion. The main education budget by over $4 billion. College and career-ready students program by over $1 billion, and so on. The point is that we have identified the areas of the budget that will see dramatic cuts if we don't find a way to come together in a bipartisan way to offset this $109 billion that needs to be saved in the first year. We can do it. We know there are plenty of areas out there to save. It's just necessary for us to get together in a bipartisan way and accomplish this result.